Hello, guys. My name is Blue Digit, and I want to just talk about something for a bit. Probably just gonna be me ranting again, but so there's this little post I saw when I was just scrolling through TikTok, right? And basically what it said was, no one is ever too busy. You're just not important enough. And it had me sitting there for a long time, kind of thinking about that. Like, nobody's ever too busy. You're just not important enough. Obviously, it's kind of just one of those, I guess, aesthetic memes or whatnot, but it still had value to me, and it almost was like my life kind of flashed before my eyes when reading that. And I know for a fact, because of how many likes and favorites there were, that people thought about it too. You could see the comments kind of being flooded, like, yeah, I feel that, and I feel like it's something I really want to address and talk about with you guys. I have had so many times in my life where, specifically when I was in school, right? Um, I can go all the way down to like even elementary. Where so many times like I was like asking people, "Do you want to do something? Do you want to hang out, whatnot?" And oftentimes it was no. I was very lucky because I did have some friends where I did go over to the house and whatnot, but like in comparison to all the other kids, a lot of times I didn't feel like that. Um, Maybe just because of the way that I think about my childhood, but you know, it always felt like everyone else was always getting asked. Everyone else had it just so much easier. It was always such a passive, but for me, it took a lot, you know? And it got to the point where, you'd question your value. You really would. And I think there's a lot of people, the isolation, especially nowadays. I mean, like, that was just how it was with me, right? And I was born in 2002. I mean, for everyone else now, it's like, I can't imagine how that feels. The isolation, the loneliness. It must be terrifying, you know? But that's not the main part here. People thinking that they're not important enough. It's not because they're busy. It's because you're not important enough. I think that is such a disgusting mindset, and I understand it. It's kind of very honestly very similar to the vein of people are like the world's not out to get you, right. And a lot of times you look at yourself and be like, what? How do you know that? That my life has been turning around this way. Of course, it feels like the world's out to get me. What do you mean the world's not out to get me? Like, can you prove it? Can you show it? Like, and I feel like it's the same way here. Where it's like, how do you know that like, how do you know that I'm important? How can you give me value? Like, are you just going to just be blowing smoke up my, you know what, And it's hard. It's very much it's a struggle through hell, especially since a lot of us do put value in how other people see us. Because why not? I mean, like, there's your point of view and so many others. And if you're not getting that attention, you're not getting that value, then what of it? I I can't really entirely give you the point of view of what to do when other people are busy. I've had so many times where people would, actually here's a good story. I think it's probably the most embarrassing one, but I'm going to tell it anyways. I think it was around when I was in the fifth grade. Maybe no, fourth grade. No, it was fourth grade. It was fourth grade, and I had all these people to hang out with at recess. I had these little cliques. We kind of BS and whatnot at school and whatnot. But it's also like you know, even though you had acquaintances, they wouldn't exactly always be your friend, right? And obviously it's not like I have like strong feelings about it now, but I still remember this. Okay, so I was with my dad on that weekend, and it was to celebrate my birthday. Okay, now, my birthday was coming up, and I sent out all these invitations. I called all these people, even my best friend, right? And it was supposed to be at this little like beach because we were poor, we couldn't afford anything really, and I remember nobody showing up. It was that same feeling where you just kind of sit there, as I don't even remember how old I would have been at that time. Obviously, below 10, I know that for a fact. It was bad. It was hell. You sit there and you wonder, what's your value in that moment? Um, Slowly over the day, I got to see more people, and that was a very good thing. But like for my birthday itself, there was no one that was from the invite list that came, and that hurt. That was very harsh to me. Um, God bless my dad, because the whole time, he spent time with me, and we had a very good day because of him. But when you have days like that where, you have multiple moments, you sit there, the loneliness is just kind of eating you alive, and you're not getting that validation, that clarification that, yes, because people are going to be there for you, especially when you ask, it means something. Or vice versa, where, they might be lying in your face. Like, I know some people, just let's go a little bit more simpler, right? I'm kind of giving some like insane examples, but let's go to a more simple example. Let's say you're in Discord, right? You have a lot of good friends that you hang out with, that you play with, and then all of a sudden, you're like, hey, you want to do this? Oh, well, I'm busy. And then you see your friend going off and playing with Joe Schmo over there, right? Clearly they're not that busy, right? That will forever sting, because clearly it's a spin. They're spitting in your face. Now, don't be wrong. Maybe you're that bad of a person, right? Maybe you're just that much of a scumbag that everyone just doesn't want to hang out with you. But more likely than not, it's not you. More likely than not, and this is the problem that most people don't see. They will forever, on an outside perspective, look at all these other people and be like, oh no, it's not you. And yet when they look at themselves internally, they'll be so much harder on themselves. It's almost like some demon is on their shoulder just telling you, yeah, you're scum. Of course, nobody wants to hang out with you. Nobody wants to be around you. You are just the scum of the earth. And you can't think that way. You can't. When people like want to throw you away and don't want to give you the time of day, then you know what? So be it. So be it. Move forward. Do your own thing. It hurts. It stings sometimes. But you know what? Those are not people meant for you. Now, that doesn't mean you have to hate them. Doesn't mean you have to have, hard feelings on them. And honestly, sometimes, a lot of times, they're not even thinking. They're just doing their own life things, right? But what the main reason I made this video was, again, how it says, I'm just reading off my phone, right? Because I took a screenshot of it. No one is ever too busy. You're just not important enough. This is what I really want to hammer down. You are beyond important, okay? Whether it's someone not being there for you as a friend, whether it's, again, like a birthday, if it's your family members that are completely gone, away from your life, whatever the reasons, right? If it feels like the whole world is away from you, you will forever have value. And I want every single one of you to know that. I don't know what you're going through right now. I don't know what individuals are watching this, but I want whoever is to know their value. Let's just go just from the beginning here, okay? The statistical chance of you even being born is abysmally low, right? And then you coming to fruition as the person you are versus what? Some other probability. And yet, we're here. On what? A planet that shouldn't even exist, statistically, again. Just go a little bit left or right, and, the sun either burns us alive or we all freeze to death, right? I think it's beautiful. I think it's very beautiful. You have intrinsic value, starting off. 2, you are important not just because of that, but because of the fact that there is unlimited realities that you can craft, okay? Whether people like to admit it or not, or see it or not, because you've been put on this earth, you have chances to change the world in such dynamic ways, whether it's big or small. People will just like discredit the littlest of things, man. But like I'm telling you, man, like, I'll give a great example. So, I remember I was in this little play, right? And all these people at the end were getting autographs. So when I'm like, whatever, it's just like, good for them. And I was about to walk off stage, but then this lady stopped me. This older lady was like, hey, stop. My grandson like to get an autograph. It was the sweetest little boy you'd ever seen. Sweetest young lad. He came up to me. He was just super excited. I think he was like, what, maybe 4 or 5, and he's just, he's so excited. And I signed whatever he gave me, and I remember that was the best moment. And I sat there, and I look at all these other people that are like spanned out beside me, and I knew that one person meant so much more than anything else. I could take 100 of those people that they had, and it would mean nothing compared to that one kid. The reason I believe that is because how much excitement they felt, how happy they felt, that moment, how the fact that something I thought was nothing, right? And it ended up being something ginormous. And that's the same thing with you, okay? If you are questioning if you're enough or your value, who are you to tell you what your value is? Who is anyone else to tell you what your value is? Is it God? Are you God? I'd hope you're not. Clearly, there's something beyond what you have that you know, okay? You might not know exactly what it is, but there is something there, okay? There's an innate value. And if you're questioning that, then I'm telling you right now, don't believe in yourself, believe in the me that tells you how much value you have, okay? There's multiple people that are even better and stronger than me that will tell you innately you have value. Even if you think you look at yourself and you have all this, like, peddly things around you, okay? You might think, it's nothing, but I tell you with utmost certainty, you have value. So often, we throw ourselves under the gutter. So often, because other people do not give us this validation, we will sit there and we'll think that, oh, well, the universe doesn't like us, or, perhaps it's just these accolades, just we aren't there yet. So clearly, that's just the way the universe is. But I'm telling you, if someone denies you, you cannot deny yourself in pursuit of your life to make the best reality. That is the truth, okay? One thing I say at the end of these videos all the time is, I'm just going to say it again because, I'm not in the video, but what I'm saying is like, let's fight for our future so bright. It's too much for our eyes. Okay, that's the one thing I always say. And that alone, I think, speaks precedence upon everything I'm speaking about here. I think one of my last points that I'd really like to go over is, in terms of importance, you're a human being. It's going to kind of cheesy. Like, this is going to sound very cheesy, but I think this is very important in regards to the discussion here. I think a human being has innate emotions, okay? This could be a video on its own, but no one is guaranteed good or bad things, okay? The world in itself is bad, so I believe that we're born in something where, we're not guaranteed good. I think we're probably going to experience bad, but we're not guaranteed good or bad, okay? We're guaranteed essentially nothing in life. And yet, the one thing that humans have that is innate, the chance they have to activate it, obviously, is love. I think that's a big thing that we have that separates us and gives us, again, that innate value. When you're born, or you have a friend, or someone that you like, someone you genuinely love, I'm telling you, that importance thing, it goes out the window. It doesn't matter how valuable they are to you. It doesn't matter, what they've done, whether it's good or bad. Sometimes you might hate them, but because of them being them, because they are made in the image of God, because they are a human being, they have that unconditional love attached to them. You really gotta cling on to that. Like hellfire, gotta cling on to that. And the unconditional love, that in it of itself holds the importance stronger than anything else I can speak about. The fact that you feel things, I don't believe that it's just some neurochemistry in your brain telling you, oh yeah, well, I love Joe Schmo, or Joe Schmo means so much to me. It's because they matter. It's because they have value. Now you might stop here and be like, well, Blue, what if no one cares about me? What if no one's there for me? And I'll stop you right there and I'll tell you this. There are 3 people that will care about you if you have no one. I highly doubt you have no one, but even in case you don't. 1, you will always, always, always have God. Always. God will always be there to believe in you, to love you, and care for you. If you question it, go to Him. 2, you'll have me. I know this is just, I'm speaking through a grid of electrical microconductors, right? But I'm trying my best to look at you. And if you were here and you were speaking to me and you needed it, I swear to you, I would let you know how much you matter. Because you do. And you are beyond important, my friend. And I might not know you, but just know in my heart, if I did, I'd wish the best for you. No matter what you've done or who you are, or what you think you are, I truly do want the best for you, and you should want the best for you as well. And the third one is for the people that are to come. You cannot overestimate or underestimate the future. You have no idea what it is. We are outside of that time. The only time that we know and have existed in is the present and the past. We have no clue about the future. We can guess. But really, those guesses are also just, stated in the present. We have no idea. And I think anyone to say the actually know is arrogant. You cannot tell me the last 4 years, even in the last 2 years, you could identify and guess every little thing that's going to happen. If you can, I mean, you'd be in some pretty high places. Tell you what, okay, you'd be making some pretty good money. Just look, you could work in stocks for a while, but I doubt it. And I could go into so many other stories about the future and why you shouldn't overestimate or underestimate it. But there's been so many blessings that I've had when I just have had faith in things, and I've looked forward, and I've just loved, and that is what has grown myself to just higher levels. And that's where I found my importance. Because the thing is, my importance is not found within just my own values and what I think. I mean, sometimes I think the world's going to just fall apart, Sometimes, I feel this way and then I feel this way, You can't just trust yourself in that. You have to trust more within the confines of others and God. And it's very hard to do so. But the one thing I will say is, even though you can't always trust you can always love you. You will find so many times, and I've said this before earlier in the video, but I want to restate this. So many times you will be in a place where you will be hurting, or you'll just want to blame the world. And I tell you this, when you have chances to actually love yourself, and not just kind of, not just like give yourself good affirmations, but genuinely, like a loving parent. Okay, like imagine yourself looking at yourself. Are you just going to like rip on yourself? Would you want someone else to be looking at you and be like, yeah, you don't have worth. Of course you have worth. Of course you're loved. Of course you have potential. I wouldn't be looking at some. If I was looking at my 12-year-old me, would I just be sitting there and being like, nope, you're not important. You haven't made it yet. No, of course not. And that's what you shouldn't do to yourself either. Because no matter what, even until the very end, you don't know. And that's why you have to have heart, soul, and grace throughout the entire endeavor, despite what the world might think of you. I'm trying to remember the Bible verse. I'm pretty sure it was something along. There's a perfect Bible verse I can think of. I'm pretty sure you might correct me if I am wrong in the chat or my bad comments. But long story short, I think it's like Jesus said, "Do not worry if the world hates you, for it has hated me first." Something along those lines. And I think about that a lot when it comes to self-importance and when you feel just so dragged down because of others. So trust me, my friend, you will make it. The thing is, though, it is a constant fight. It's not just, only believing yourself. That's part of it. That's part of the self-love and indulgence. But the thing is, you got to love yourself to the point where you're actually fighting for it. You're trying every day. You're actually putting in effort, taking care of yourself. Like, not just saying, oh, I'm going to really care about things. What you're going to do is you're actually going to like, okay, I'm going to actually, get up at this time. I'm going to be eating right. I'm going to be maybe trying to reach out and speak to people more. Putting into those relationships the same way that, I want to be given out. Because, people don't always know everything. People are all over the place. And you've got to try your best to keep marching forward. Not only for yourself, but for others. So, yeah, it's just kind of a rant. I don't really know. But I saw that and I wanted to kind of talk on it. In a more rational sense, the one thing I will also say is, again, with people, I don't always think they have the worst intentions. A lot of times, even with people that aren't even always the best to you, you can just have great turnovers I mean, I've had people that start up my enemies, now they're my best friends, you know? It's been all over the place for me. And I think that's sometimes the way that things are as well. Obviously you will have times where you're alone or you're going to feel alone. And I mean that's going to stink. It's not going to be fun. It never is. But that's why this video is here. And I hope that whenever you do feel discouraged or whatnot, you look back, you look into yourself, and you realize that that innate value that you have is brighter than anything else. So, um, I think that's good, even though it's a little cringy. So, love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, genuinely. It's been a pretty long video, so if you haven't already, get something to drink at least. And as always, smile, keep it up, and let's fight for a future so bright. You see with your eyes. My name is Blue, signing out. I'll see you guys next video. Bye, guys.